children. The last class we discussed important questions of essay 1 and a few topics important concept from third lesson. Okay. Now that is an animal fiber. What is a shearing, showering, and why cocoons are boiled, why cocoons are shelled, and which type of goats will have the soft air, difference between Angora goat and other goats, which type of protein is present in animal fiber, plant fibers are carbohydrates. All these topics we have discussed. I gave few answers to write in a classwork as a part of a revision. Done the classwork and write daily. I am insisting you. How many of you are writing? I don't know. Just if you write, it makes a practice. You'll get good marks. So motion and a time. Let us start today's revision. That is the fourth lesson. Motion and time. So what is a motion? To understand, we should understand the meaning of motion and rest. When object is moving from one place to other place, then it is said to be a motion. And if object is at rest, then it is said to be a, if it is not moving constant there only, then it is said to be a rest. So distance between the driver or the car and the distance between the car and the gate of the house is changed? No. So here the person, the swing, she is swinging there, it is moving. And the person is sailing in a boat, that is also moves from one distance to other distance. So all these are the examples of a motion. Motion is relative to the observer. With respect to the observer, motion and position of the object changes. Suppose I am standing, both you and me are standing opposite to each other. The objects which are left towards me faces you towards a right. It means if the observer and the object is both are relative to each other. In which concept, in which direction you are observing, and from where you are, according to that motion is described. Suppose you are on the ground floor, what I will say that just you are staying in a first floor, it is just above me, and you are staying in a first floor, your friend is staying in a second floor, then what you will say that my friend stays above me. So what it indicates that depending upon the observer. So different types of motions also we are going to discuss. Uniform and non-uniform motion. What is a uniform motion? If a equal distance in equal interval of a time, then such motion is said to be a uniform motion. Example, here the hands, short hand and a long hand in a watch, it moves equal distance and in equal interval of time. For 1 second it moves short hand, and for 1 hour that long hand moves. So it is said to be a uniform motion. Uniform motion. And if a motion does not have the equal distance in equal interval of time, then it is said to be a non-uniform motion. If a body covers equal distance in equal interval of time, it is said to be a uniform motion. If a body covers unequal distance in equal interval of time, is said to be a non-uniform motion. Next, types of motions. We have 3 types of motions. That is translatory motion, rotatory motion, oscillatory motion. Let us discuss what is translatory motion. If all the parts of moving body move in the direction of motion, then the motion is said to be a translatory motion. If your body parts, if all the parts of a moving body moves in the direction of motion, move in the direction of a motion, then the motion is said to be a translatory motion. And in translatory motion we have 2 types, that is a curvilinear motion and rectilinear motion. If a body in a translatory motion moves along a straight line, then it is said to be a rectilinear motion. If a body in translatory motion moves along a curve path, then the motion is said to be a curvilinear motion. Rectilinear motion and curvilinear motion. So different types of motions we heard here. Next, rotatory motion. What is meant by rotatory motion? Rotatory motion means the motion of all the particles of moving body follow a circular path with respect to the fixed center or axis of rotation. Rotatory motion means that motion of all the particles of moving body follow a circular path with respect to the fixed center or axis of motion, and such motion is said to be a rotatory motion. And see, here is a top, globe, fan, all these are moves on a fixed point. So they are all these are examples for rotatory motion. Motion of a blades of ceiling fan, motion of arrow from a bow, motion of earth around the sun, motion of the drill bit, motion of a vehicle of an object. So all these are examples. There you have to identify which is a translatory motion and which is a rotatory motion. And next one is oscillatory. What is meant by oscillatory motion? To and fro motion. The to and fro motion of an object about a fixed point is said to be a oscillatory motion. It is also known as a vibratory motion. If it is moved on the same path, spring is there, machine is there, swing machine, it moves to and fro on that same path, fixed point, then it is said to be a oscillatory motion. What is a uniform motion, ma? The body covers equal distance in equal interval of time. Such motion is said to be uniform motion. The body covers unequal distance in equal interval of time, then it is said to be a non-uniform motion. And how many types of motions we have? 3 types, that is translatory, rotatory and oscillatory. What is a translatory? If all the body parts move in the direction of a motion, then it is said to be a translatory motion. And rotatory, if your body moves along a fixed point, then it is said to be a rotatory. To and fro motions of an object on a fixed point is said to be oscillatory motions. Okay, most important 3 areas. Slow and fast. How we will come to know that slow and fast? If we discuss, we relate to the time, then only we can understand is very slow, is very fast. Whenever we will compare any object, if speed, then we will talk about the time. In which manner you will say is very slow? Because it takes a much time to read, to accept. So then it is said to be a slow. And if we complete within the second, then you are said to be a fast. Here slow and fast are termed with respect to the time. And we are going to discuss a few things. How to measure and estimate a time. How to measure and estimate a time. What is a time? Actually it is a, do you know, like minutes and hours, week, fortnight, month, season, are also units for measuring time. Sand clock, water clock, sundial, etc. are used earlier instruments for estimating time. Measuring of time using a stopwatch. Measuring a time, how we will use a stopwatch. Units of a time. Time is measured in seconds. Larger unit of a time is minutes or hours. Minutes and hours. Shorter unit, small unit, least unit is said to be, the unit of a time is seconds, and larger unit is said to be a hours or a minutes. Now speed. What is meant by speed? Speed is nothing but we can define a speed of an object, distance travelled by unit time. Distance by time is said to be a speed, and average speed, total distance by total time. Total distance by time taken. Total time we should not use, we have to call it as a time taken. Time taken. Units of speed, that is kilometers per hour or meters per second. In SI unit it is meters per second, and in CGS system, MKS system, that is kilometers per hour. Based on that we have simple formula. The speed is nothing but a distance travelled by time taken. Distance travelled by time taken. Here speed units are meters per second, kilometers per hour. You have to solve the problem based on the speed. Speed is nothing but distance by time. Solving the problem and converting into this work. With this we completed our 4th lesson revision, that is motion is a common experience in our life. An object is said to be in moving if it changes its position. There are 3 types of motions, namely translatory motion, rotatory motion and oscillatory motion. We measure time by using different instruments like electronic clocks, digital clocks, etc. Next, speedometer help us to know the speed of a vehicle. So here in this, how many answers you have to write, Amma? Let me talk about this. All are multiple choice questions are there. When do we say that an object is in a rotatory motion? 13th one. Sieving machine used by tailors. Mention the type of sieving machines. parts when it runs. Wheel, needle and a cloth. That is 16th one. Next, what is the common of the following motions of the propeller of flying helicopter in a minute, fan and watch? Third one. These three answers you have to write one time in the back of your class book. Okay children, thank you.